What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. Coming at you guys from Charleston on the road. This internet connection is not great, so chat, do me a favor. Let me know if you can see me. I'm getting a ton of dropped frames, so I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try. I'm also exhausted, so forgive me. But this is probably going to be a quick stream. But I did just want to say hey and give you guys some flight footage. I just flew a couple batteries at sunset at my friend's Michelle and Austin's house here. Michelle is from Octopunk Media, OCTOPUNK Media. Go check her out on YouTube. She makes some really cool stuff. She's doing a film over the next today, tomorrow, Friday, called Femme Fatale, which is going to be really fun. And I'm gaffer, doing some good stuff, helping out, hanging lights, doing all kinds of fun things. So yeah, having a blast. Kristen's here. She's doing hair and makeup. And yeah, this is our other life. Not really much of a life. We only do a couple of these a year. But we have a really, really good time doing them. So yeah, tag me in the chat if you guys have any questions or whatnot. We're just gonna hang out here for a bit, and yeah, this is my full-time gig. If you'd like to support me, head on over to CiottiFPV.com, click some buttons. I've got OBS on the laptop here, but showing the desktop is acting very strange. I'll give it a shot in a little bit here to see if we can watch this flight footage, but I don't want to jinx it quite yet. Less Obese Quads is in the house. Paul McDonald, Late Night Scope, and Freelojo. Ooh, thanks for dropping that link, Freelojo. Much appreciated. Freelojo, do me a favor. Grab a link to Octopunk Meet. Why is the computer at 26% already?
That's what I was going to tell you, like...
Good God. Where'd you say it was?
It's right behind you. Look, in the back.
All right. Hold on, boys and girls. Holy cow.
It eats battery.
Man, that's crazy.
Also, your fan is running.
Great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, hold on.
I have a...
Boys and girls.
Oh, here.
I've got one right here.
Okay.
There's my crotch. It's, hope you guys like it.
They're in...
Okay.
They're in Austin's music room if they see all stuff in the background.
Yeah, we're in, this is Austin's music room here. Very, very cool. All kinds of really cool stuff. I unplugged a bunch of the bulbs on the light behind me because the laptop camera is absolutely worthless. So yeah, that's why there's a couple bulbs that are unplugged. But I'm trying my best to hide those unplugged bulbs with my big fat head and my gigantic hair at the moment. Wow, that's a lot of dropped frames. Holy cow. Whatever. We shall keep on going. So here's a quick... so the Acrobrat is back up in the air. This was a little bit of a... Not necessarily maiden, but... it's I took these 1804s off to put them on. Awesome, thanks for Lojo. To put them onto a one of the Cinesplores, and now I put them back on here, and I just haven't flown it in a while, so I took it out. The props were kind of banged up, so there's a little bit of nonsense in the video, but this is the 260 gram Acrobrat with the X-Nova 1804s, which are fairly beat up on these motors pretty good. But the clean and dirty setup of the Acrobrat does a really good job at kind of calming that down and getting rid of the jello. So yeah, here, take a look. For some reason this RunCam hybrid is really green, which is easy to just color correct out. But yeah, don't be put off by the greenness of this Runcam hybrid. I don't really understand why this one is so much more green than the other ones. But yeah, if I actually do anything with this footage, I will be able to take that out. So let me try to show you guys the desktop here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, okay, that's not what I wanted. That's definitely not it. Yeah, it's... Why is it just showing that? Well, let me try this. Oh my god. So, can you guys see that? I'm hoping that you guys can see that. Let me see. I need to get the chat window open here. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Alright, so there's the chat. Hey chat, tell me if you guys can see that. Man, I don't... let me try this. Hold on. I have a feeling you guys can't see... Oh, no, you can. You can. But the problem is... I need to be able to... hold on. I need to be able to show... Oh, man, and now the stream just bombed.
Oh.
I need to be able to show you guys the... Well, I need to be able to look at the chat while you guys look at this. So... I need to send this... the media. Okay. Well, let's try this. Let me put media source here and then open this up and then we'll browse, and then I think maybe I can do it this way. Alright, stand by. Let's see if this works. Run cam. Yep. Great. That one. Open. Alright, let me see. Restart playback when source becomes active. Close file inactive. Ah, cool. Okay, sweet. I just need to resize this. Lovely. I agree, Metal. Hey, there we go. Cool. Now I can also see the chat. Oh, I gotta kill the audio on the media source though. Okay, there you guys go. Better. Okay, yeah. So there we go. So this is the Acrobat. I guess I can give you guys maybe a little bit of the volume, just a little bit. I mean it's Runcam hybrid audio, so it's pretty awful. But there you go. There's the tiniest little bit of Runcam hybrid audio. This was also this is a little bit outside of the Runcam hybrid's comfortable amount of light range. It was just a little too dark here. You can see when I go down in the shadows, it just completely blacks out. The sensor in the Runcam hybrid's really good, but it's not quite this good. This is pretty challenging light. I'll play Hero 8 footage in a minute here, and even the Hero 8 was kind of having a little bit of a rough go. But yeah, the Acrobat on the 1804s is quite the thing. This is also on 6S, motor scaled down 70%, I believe. And yeah, this is the iFlight Success ESC, the $27. And man, it is hanging in there. These 6S batteries sag just as bad as the 4S batteries. There's really no advantage there. But yeah, it flies good. So there you go. I mean, it's just black, right? It's just all black. That's the camera is trying as hard as it can to expose, but the sensor's just too small and not quite sensitive enough. Which is pretty normal for those tiny little sensor cameras. But yeah, the quality is really good, and the rig is flying really good. I can't wait to dig in. This rig is on firmware from months ago, and there's where I crashed into the effing tree. So let's kill that media source, and let me turn on the previous flight, so that you guys can take a look at a little bit more of the... Oh man, is this gonna let me fast forward? It's not gonna let me fast forward, is it? I think I let it sitting on. I left it sitting here for a while. What's up, Dauntless? What's up, Stevo? Metal Dirtskin and Ram Donko. Oh man, more dropped frames. Airbnb Wi-Fi router is about to burst into flames. You guys losing? Yikes. All right, so let me bail on this media source. Oh wait, no, there we go. They're moving it around. No. All right, hold on. Let me switch. Let me switch memory cards. Oh, really? Yeah, there we go. So this was the battery before that, and yeah. So here you can see the hybrid dealing with a little bit more. Oh! It's all zoomed in. It's all awful. Oh, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's good to go. It's good to go. Okay. So yeah, this is the RunCam hybrid with a little bit more light, and yeah, this is kind of where it's happy. The sky wasn't quite on fire yet. I wish there was. I mean, you can kind of push this in post processing a little bit to get a little bit more color out of it. But I really wish there was a good ND filter solution. This would have been a little bit better, a little bit of an no, maybe not actually. Oh, you know what it was? It was there were, see how many clouds there are? The sun wasn't a normal sunset without this thick of a cloud cover. Oh my god, the dropped frames. A normal sunset without this much of a cloud cover would have been a lot better. Oh man, this thing is struggling. See if reconnection's successful. Okay, am I back? I hope I'm back. Oh man, so many dropped frames. Oh, there we go. Drop frames just stopped. So maybe you guys can see. Nope, more drop frames. All right, well, let me do this. Let me see if I can give you guys a little bit more flight footage from a GoPro Hero 8. Maybe it'll deal a little bit better with the higher quality. Okay, man, it won't even let me eject the memory card. So we're just gonna force it, and then let's give this a shot. Looks like the dropped frames have subsided, hopefully. So let me go back here. All right, let's see if this works. Hold on. All right, hold on. I gotta go to browse and Grogu memory card, GoPro. All right, so here is Hero 8 footage. Let's see what this looks like. That's not it at all. 12, why is that not the right file? 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, okay, it's up here. So I want 21. I think this will be the right one, maybe? Let's see. Or not. Or it'll be just nothing. Oh, wait, no, I have it. Nope, that's not it either. So it's not 521. 1203, maybe? Is this it, maybe? Let's see. Nope, that's not it. That's definitely not it. Wow. Okay. 97? Let's check 97. Maybe it's this one. Nope, that's not it either. Okay. This is starting to get a little weird. I don't know which file it is. 21, 22, 93, 94, 99, 200, 201, 202, 203. It should be here. It should be this. 203, right? Isn't it this? There it is. Whoo, boy. All right, let's see what happens with the dropped frames here. Because this is now playing 4K, so it shouldn't drop frames like it was a minute ago. What's up, Magic Pig? What's up, EE Doc? What's up, Jackalope? Torktastic. I think I got everybody. I get the feeling from how jittery this is that it ain't gonna play right. But let's give it another couple of seconds here. See what happens. We'll keep up the faith. This poor laptop is struggling. Greg Womack says, how do you stop weird frame harmonics? Velox V2 on Freakstyle frame. I mean, the real way to fix it is to fly a frame that doesn't have weird harmonics. I mean, like, when a frame has weird harmonics, like, yeah, I mean, it's just not great frame design typically. You can try to do a black box log and then drop a notch filter on wherever the harmonics are occurring. Oh yeah, this ain't gonna work. That's not bad frame rate on your guys' side. That's on my side. It's OBS is struggling to play the footage because it's 4K footage. But there's a Charleston sunset for you as stills. Yeah, EEDoc says the tape trick. You can definitely try the tape trick. Put electric tape in between where the arms meet the X plate and the arms meet the base plate. You can definitely do that. Are the motors fresh or are the motors beat up? If the motors are beat up, pull the props off, go into the motors tab, spin each motor up individually, and see if one motor is louder than another, and then replace that motor that's louder than the other. But if they're fresh motors, yeah, I mean, nowadays there are a lot of different frame options that don't have weird harmonics going on. So your best bet would just be to move over to a better frame where you don't have to deal with that. I'm a huge fan of the FPV Cycle glide frame. No, I mean all frames have harmonics, but the glide harmonics, as you can see here, are totally manageable. Fresh builds, yeah. I mean, wow, that's crazy. I hadn't heard that about that Freakstyle frame. The most, if not all, of the Armatan frames have that problem, and yeah, I mean you can work really hard to tune that out. Yeah, 399 feet exactly. Or you can spend $50 on a glide frame and have a better quality frame that also doesn't have the harmonic problems. So yeah, well worth $50 in my opinion. And you'll get a lot of other benefits from the glide frame. You know, I've built a ton of different rigs on a ton of different frames, and the glide frame is the one that really just constantly stands out to me as the best frame available for you know, less than $80, $90, $100. Ramdonko says, I presume as you use RunCam, all the kit is analog. The world's HD as I pursued today set me to worry. What? The words HD as I perused today set me to worry. I don't know what that means, Ramdonko. What are you saying? But yeah, analog. I'm still analog everything. DJI and Sharkbite are just not finished products yet, and I'm gonna wait until they're finished to jump on There are still some pretty serious issues with them that I'm just not willing to deal with when analog is this good, right? So yeah, I'll be analog for a while longer here until those guys get their acts together and figure out what they're doing. What's up, Rusty? How are you, man? So yeah, I mean, this is playing. I'll let this play for another couple of minutes here because the yeah, this is better. This is better quality than the built-in camera on this laptop. Yeah, click some buttons down below. Thumb up if you'd like. Subscribe, bell, all the good stuff if you guys don't mind. Ramdonko says a lot of this cam is HD. So this is footage from the GoPro Hero 8. And this is about its limit for light. So, I mean, you guys can see that the Hero 8 sensor is obviously doing a much better job than the RunCam hybrid sensor was. To be expected, right? Of course, this camera was $400 brand new, and the RunCam hybrid is $90. So yeah, I mean, whole different kind of world. But this is, so you can see the darks there in the trees. This is pretty much the limit of the Hero 8's ability to shoot in low light. This was kind of the perfect time for non ND filtered RunCam footage. You can see a ton of motion blur on the bottom of the screen there, right? You guys are only getting like 10 frames a second, but the frames that you're getting are, OBS isn't blurring the footage. This motion blur is there. So this is a really good example of the time of day where you can get a ton of motion blur without an ND filter. You only really need to be using ND filters when the sun is more than like 4 or 5 fingers from the horizon up in the sky. So yeah, once you get towards towards golden hour, you can not use ND filters anymore and still get a significant amount of motion blur. And just as the sun gets farther and farther down, you're going to get more and more motion blur. Mr. Z, little bit of both. The Wi-Fi here is a little bit rough, but also I'm feeding OBS 4K footage directly from the memory card, and it's just having a really hard time dealing with it. This laptop is faster than my desktop, but not that much faster, unfortunately. So, but Edgerton says, do you lock the white balance, exposure, etc. on the GoPro? So I lock the white balance for sure. And then I do not lock the exposure because when we fly, we tend to fly pretty dynamically. We go under trees and into buildings where it tends to be really dark, and then we'll go out into bright sunlight. So if you lock the exposure, you kind of have to pick either under the trees and in the building and in the dark areas is exposed properly, or the sky is exposed properly. So that's the big reason, and I don't want to do that. I don't want the sky to be totally blown out or under trees to just be completely black. So I leave the exposure and the shutter speed on auto, but then I do limit the ISO down. Limit the ISO to not go above, I want to say 200. It kind of changes. Like a situation like this, I would actually allow the ISO to go up to 400, limit it to 100, 200, 400. But usually I'll, earlier in the day than this, I'll limit the ISO all the way down to either 200 or 100. Don Ladd says, golden hour is favorite time to fly, that in early morning. Yeah, for sure. For the most part, I just kind of don't fly when it's not golden hour because ND filters are annoying. And, the sky looking like this is much more fun to watch. Ramdonko says, sorry, RunCam HD 1080 60 frame percent, 60 frames per second rather, etc. Product, guessing now all their equipment is analog. I'm still not picking up what you're laying down, Ramdonko. So the previous footage that you were watching was from the Acrobrat with a RunCam hybrid. and it was set to 4K 30 frames a second. That's my preferred. The only thing I don't like about the Runcam Hybrid is they don't give you a 2.7K 30 frame per second mode. It forces you into 60 frames a second on anything below 4K. So I put it onto 4K just to force it into 30 frames per second, so that when the light gets low, it can actually drop the shutter speed down low enough to give you some motion blur. And it also makes it work better in low light. So yeah, if that's what your question was, there you go, Ram. You're throwing me off by saying that their equipment is analog. I don't know what you mean by that. All right. I think I'm caught up on chat, right? Yeah, we're caught up on chat. So yeah, more of the same here. What else can I show you guys? Oh, so that was ouch, goddamn. If it seemed like that rig was going really fast all the time, it was. That was the high speed / chase, whatever the hell. I gotta come up with a name for this rig. Rig on the 6-inch arms. It's a glide frame on 6-inch arms at the moment. I'm going to be moving this to these are 6-inch 5mm thick arms. I am going to be moving this to the glide hammer arms, the 6mm 5-inch arms. These Brother Hobby Avenger 2507 motors on these Gemfan 5152 propellers are a really good match. I also tried these motors on the Gemfan 5552 propellers, and it wasn't quite enough motor for those propellers to be like really locked in. So yeah, for the time being, I'm going to move this onto 5-inch arms. Brad up in New Jersey has my set of Cineglide arms, which are for 5.5-inch props, and they're dead cat. The front arms are a little bit dead cat, but for those 55-52 propellers, I need a little bit more motor. So yeah, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to move this down to the thicker arms. The 6mm glide hammer arms, in my opinion, it's not a freestyle arm. It's an arm for stuff like this. It's an arm for 5-inch long range rigs. The extra thickness just absolutely kills any wobble in the arms, and it really gives you a nice clean noise profile on the rig. So yeah, the problem with those arms on a freestyle rig is that when you crash, the arms are too strong, and you end up breaking the X plate down here or the base plate. And that's way more annoying to fix than a broken arm. So I don't recommend crashing those glide hammer arms. Yeah, I recommend them for like a long range or like a cinematic, basically a cinematic 5-inch rig that you're not going to crash, but you want a super clean noise profile so that you can push your filters as hard as possible and crank the PID tune, as high as you can. But yeah, I hadn't flown this rig in a while. It's got a 40-degree up tilt Hero 8 mount on it, and then it's actually got a Runcam Micro Eagle in it that I've got up at like 35 or so degrees. It's a good rig. It's got an Acon 55 amp in it, and yeah, these Brother Hobby Avenger 2507s, which are big boys, and then I haul around 6S. So that battery that you just saw was this China Hobby Line 6S 1800. I do not recommend this battery. It sags terribly. The batteries that I recommend are these Tattoo 1400 mAh 6Ss version 4 here. These are brand new. These are unbelievable. I didn't fly. I have 2 of these. I didn't fly either one of them because I'm hoping that on Saturday it's going to be a nice day and we can go to Folly Beach, and I want to rip up and down the beach with these 2 1400s. The other pretty good battery, but I mean, no reason not to get those tattoos. This GNB 1500 mAh 6S is pretty good too. But the Tattoo R line 1400s are the way to go. Not really a long range battery, but this isn't a long range rig. This is a chase rig. This is a high speed rig. So I'll get like 3 or 4 or 5 minutes out of these 1400s, but those 3 or 4 or 5 minutes I'm going 80, 90, 100 miles an hour the whole time. So yeah, that's what I built the rig for. I don't have any interest in long range, but it is nice to have a rig that can cruise at 60 or 70 or 80 miles an hour, and then you can really put the nose down and dig into triple digits pretty easily. Don Ladd says, where you at? I am in Charleston, at my friends Michelle and Austin's house. Michelle is Octopunk Media on YouTube and Instagram and all the places. I am her grip for this little short film called Femme Fatale that she's working on. I've run lighting on a whole bunch of her movies over the last short films over the last like 4 or so years. So yeah, Kristen and I are here helping out, working, hanging out with cool people, having a good time. It's super fun. We do this like about twice or so a year. She gets in touch with us. This is her husband Austin's music room, which is why you see all the fun stuff around. And yeah, I don't want to leave you guys hanging on a Wednesday night. So got the laptop going, got the microphone down on the floor. I'm using the camera in the computer.
And I'm here.
Kristen's here to my left over there, which is your guy's right.
I'm working.
She be working. So yeah. E-Doc says you got to put those videos on an unlisted second channel so we can see your footage without your computer OBS sucking the quality out of it. Yeah, I usually do that on the Patreon unlisted playlist. So if you want access to my Patreon unlisted YouTube playlist has more more like flight footage than my regular channel. Most of it is like half edited or unedited completely. But yeah, you patrons, you have access over on Patreon to that playlist. And feel free to hop over. There's all kinds of good stuff on there. I will upload these to that playlist once I get off the stream here, and they'll be in 4K. I'll put one and one. I'll put the one Acrobrat 4K 30. Well, those are both flown on 4K 30. So yeah, I'll upload each one of those, and you guys can check them out. I'll throw a link up on the Patreon channel. If you want to join my Patreon, it's going to cost you $3 whole American dollars a month. It's crazy. It's $1. It's less than $1 a week. It's tough. I know. I mean, but you got it. It's the only way. It's the only way for me to keep doing this. 10 whole cents a day. Go to CiottiFPV.com. The very top button is Patreon. Come on over. All kinds of good stuff. I post clearance deals on there to save you some money on good stuff when I find good things in clearance sections. I've got a bunch of articles on PID tuning, filter tuning, how to do it like simply and easily. A bunch of troubleshooting stuff. If you've got motor heat or mid-throttle oscillations, there's some good articles over there. And then the one thing that a lot of people have been really digging is I do audio-only versions of these live streams where I cover like good technical info. Like I won't do an audio version of this stream here because we're just bullshitting. But like Monday's stream, we talked about a lot of good stuff on Monday and Sunday as well. There are audio versions of both of those over on the Patreon channel, so that, you know, if you don't have 3 hours to watch the Sunday stream, you can just listen to it like a podcast, basically. So a lot of people, I'm exhausted, guys. Today was a long day. Being a lot of running around when you're grip, and we were working upstairs and running up and downstairs, hot as hell in here. Yeah. Long day. Tomorrow will be an even longer day. Friday will be an even longer day. But it's really good. It's really good exercise. It's really, really fun. Yeah, super, super, super fun. I love doing this stuff. I wouldn't want to do it full time, but it'd be like a free gym membership. a paid gym membership. So wouldn't hate it doing full time, but I'm gonna stick with FPV for now. Marcelius says, really wish Kebab would do some 4mm 5-inch 4-ride arms. 4mm 5-inch 4-ride arms. Message him. Send FPV Cycle a message on Facebook. They'll get back to you. Tell him what you want, and maybe he'll do some on the next order. There are 4mm glide arms. I don't recommend you get them because a glide build is usually going to be about 600 grams, and those 4mm arms, as all 4mm arms do on 5-inch freestyle builds, are just too fragile and break. So Mudderton says that glide bottom plate looks different from mine. Mine is maybe 6 months old. Is that a newer one? It's not a newer one, but this is a glide base plate that Bob and I worked on, and Ryan Harrell cut for me. So this glide base plate, it's different right up in here. This is the base plate design that led to the current base plate design, but this design was never like public. This was so the original glide base plate design. Basically, it's hard to see, but in here, the front end looks like this. There's a deeper cut in there. When I broke a bunch of them and I saw that they were breaking in the exact same spot every time, I had been talking to Bob on Facebook, and I said, hey, let me send you some pictures of 3 broken glide base plates that all broke in the same spot. I think it's a pretty easy fix to beef that up. And at the time, Ryan Harrell of Mini Quad Test Bench had just gotten his, I just found out, I don't know if he just got it. He might have just gotten it. His little miniature CNC setup. And so Bob sent the changed, like, kind of prototype, stronger base plate design over to Ryan, and he cut me 3 of them in different thicknesses. This is actually no, this one's 2.5. This one's 2.5 millimeters thick. He cut me a 2 mil, a 2.5 mil, and a 3 mil. And this is the 2.5 mil. And yeah, it stopped breaking up here. And then in the process of all that, Bob thought of a couple other changes, and then he had them cut. So the new glide base plates are even better than this design here. But yeah, this design is a little bit different than the ones that you might have had 6 or so months ago. This X plate is the same. This is the old school style X plate. It wasn't until after once I put these prototype updated base plates on, the X plate started breaking. So then Bob updated the X plate a little bit. So now the current glide has the new base plate design and the new X plate design. It's only like 2 or 3 grams heavier between the two of them, but it is a lot stronger, a lot stronger. The current glide is really, really strong, especially for the weight. Experimental RC says, come to Florence. I wish, man. We're on a super busy shoot schedule. Tomorrow's going to be like a 10, 11, 12-hour day, and then Friday is probably going to be like a 13 or a 14-hour day. And then Saturday, we're hoping to take a little bit of time for just us, Kristen and I, and go down to Folly Beach and then just get the hell home. My buddy Chris is actually house sitting, which is really nice of him because Harold, the world's most expensive cat, requires, like, he's a pain. His feeding schedule is pretty strict. And he has to have this special powder mixed into his food 3 times a day. It's a nightmare. But yeah, very cool of Chris. And Chris is one of my autocross friends. So he was glad to house sit because he's been over. He came over when I got the sim rig, and me and him spent like 6 hours straight, just taking turns back and forth on the sim rig. And so yeah, he's at the apartment banging away on Assetto Corsa and Gran Turismo Sport, having a good old time. Alexander Romanenko says your hair should have its own live stream. Looking good, buddy. I'm actually thank God I'm getting my hair cut when I get back into town in Atlanta. It's getting a little wild and woolly. But I think I'm gonna have her leave the top alone. The top got cut a little bit too short recently. What little green dots are on the screen? What's that green dot there? Why is that there? Why can I not get those 2 dots out with my hand? Oh, it's from this light, isn't it? No, it's not. It's from one of those lights, I think. One of those guys. Interesting. Experimenter says, RC says, what are you filming? Octopunk Media, OCTOPUNK Media is Michelle and Austin's filming company here. They're doing a short film called Femme Fatale. You should check out, if you want an example of Octopunk's work and an example of my lighting, where I did all the lighting on one of her films. The biggest of her, I think maybe the only one that you can find on YouTube, is Detroit Awakening, which is based on a video game that some of you video game nerds might know. So yeah,
Become Human is the video game.
Detroit Becoming Human is the name of the video game, and then yeah, the short film that Michelle did a couple years ago now, 2-3 years ago now, is called Detroit Awakening, and I think that was the last of her films that I did all of the lighting on, like top to bottom. I did the lighting on that one. She's done a bunch of other films where I've just kind of like assisted and whatnot. But if you want to see my lighting, yeah, that's a film, and it's a really, really good short film. It was her like kind of breakout short film that really got her noticed in festivals and all over the place. So yeah, very, very cool. Metal Dirtson says, I realized I've been to Folly Beach. I was down there for work about 4 years ago before I was in the quads. Yeah, Folly Beach is a really cool spot. It was really, really cool when we first moved down here to Charleston 7-ish years ago. And over the course of the 5 years that we lived right up the street, we lived like 5 miles from Folly Beach in James Island. In the 5 years that we lived there, Folly Beach kind of took a little bit of a turn. A little bit too much money got funneled into it. The beaches got wrecked. They did a revitalization thing to the beach, and they spent a ton of money, but they didn't spend nearly enough money. And within 2 years, the whole beach revitalization effort got completely wiped out. So the beach is kind of suffering, and like some of the spots are still, like Taco Boy's still there, Surf Bar is still there, but some of the other kind of classic spots have been kind of shut down. But still a really cool, really, really cool spot. Used to be free to park down there. You used to be able to park down there. It's gotten a little bit overly. I mean, you could say that about all of Charleston, though. 6-7 years ago, Charleston was a very different place than it is now. We were right on the cusp of like everybody figuring out that Charleston was kind of cheap, a cheap place to live with good quality of life, and then yeah, once people started moving down, it was crazy, man. Housing prices, rent prices went through the roof. Job opportunities went away. And it's struggling a little bit, but still a really cool town. Great place to visit. Charleston is an amazing place to visit. Can't really recommend living here, but an amazing place to come spend a week. If you can find a vacancy, it's hard to find spots that have openings. Book something now if you want to come next year. What else we got going on in the chat here? Let me see something. I tried to launch Premiere earlier. Let me see if it ever actually launched. It did. Now, the real question is, I rendered this video. Will it play? It will. Look at that. Will it play in a way that... Oh my god, amazing. Alright, so let me turn down the volume a little bit for you guys. So, oh man, I only rendered this one clip. Well, you're not going to have much to see. But here is the... here's the Cinesplorer flying around in that spot. Now, you guys have seen with the GMG Performance edits of me flying around the tuner shop. That was with the Newbie Drone 65mm whoop with the Insta360 Go. There are 3 of those edits here on the channel in the FPV edits playlist. Here's what a Hero 8 on a 480 gram Cinesplorer looks like flying in that exact same spot. So, and I think this will play smooth. Let's see. Oh god, don't want that. No, here we go. I want this, and then that, and then yeah, check this out. So after this, you should go watch the... Okay, never mind. Well, let me give it a second. Nope, that ain't gonna. Well, maybe. There it goes. That ain't too bad. Yeah, so go watch the GMG Performance edits to see the flight characteristic difference and the speed difference between a tiny whoop with an Insta360 Go and a 3-inch Cinesplorer. Kind of an interesting comparison. I'm actually going to wrap this stream up in a minute or two here, so you guys can go check that out if you want. But yeah, the big thing that you'll notice is the speed difference. Like, it's tough to fly a Cinesplorer slow enough to work your way around a really tight space like this. It is possible, though, as you're seeing. But yeah, and it's also really heavy. Like this thing, this 480 gram Cinesplorer crashing in here makes a hell of a racket. This is smooth with Real Steady Go, which is why the horizon is like beautifully locked. But you'll also see the difference in quality, which is pretty obvious. But yeah, this is going to be my last edit. So you see how the horizon stayed locked? That's Real Steady Go, just being an absolute superstar. Yeah, this is going to be this is footage that's going to go into my last edit of GMG Performance here. So there you guys go. A little bit of cine whooping inside. That's one of the things that really makes... oh my god, come on. That's one of the things that really makes the 65mm tiny whoops so much fun to fly around small spaces, which is that, like, they're just so nice and slow, and you can just really confidently move around. And I mean, you know, Cinesplorers aren't that big, right? Cinesplorers, Cinesplorer, any 3-inch Cinewhoop is going to be like roughly this big. But my god, like the 65mm tiny whoop is like that, and when you're trying to fly through like an engine bay, like that actually does make a difference. Metaderson says maybe better in angle mode in a space like that. I don't think so. Angle mode has so many weird sort of flight characteristics. I mean, maybe if you're going to run it through Real Steady Go and do horizon lock, I guess it doesn't really matter. For me, I mean, I don't spend any time in angle mode. So if I tried to fly angle mode, I would probably be all over the damn place. But for like a tiny whoop diehard that spends a bunch of time in angle mode, I would actually love to see that. I would love to see somebody do angle mode on a proper 3-inch Cinewhoop. That would be kind of interesting. But yeah, it's all acro for me. I can't fly angle or horizon. Um, it's it's yeah, it's a whole different muscle memory. It doesn't use your regular rates. It's kind of all over the place. Um, Jason Crabtree says angle mode is really hard to fly smooth. Um, yeah, because it kind of like locks back to center, right? But see, then Real Steady Go would take that out. Unfortunately, when it takes it out, though, it zooms and it zooms in every basically. So when you're flying dead flat, Real Steady Go will give you the full frame. But as soon as you start to roll, Real Steady Go has to crop in. So, you know, as you roll, it's going to crop in. And then every time you center back out to roll the other direction, it's going to crop back out. And then it's going to crop back in again. So it gives a little bit of a weird effect. Sometimes you can't see it if you're really, really smooth. But sometimes it just looks weird, for lack of a better description. But I would just really love to see one of these like gnarly Tiny Whoop racing pilots that only flies angle mode, ripping a 3-inch Cinewhoop, and then running that through Real Steady Go. I think that would be really interesting. Tuner Taxi, I think with the last comment of the night, because I am tired and I don't really have anything else to show you guys. He says, just built my first Tiny Whoop. Thanks for your help. You're certainly welcome, Tuner Taxi. So, yeah, I will... I know I said I was going to try to stream on Friday, but it's looking like Friday is going to be a 13-hour day here, so I really doubt it. So Saturday night, maybe I'll be back on, but Saturday has the potential to kind of be a long day. We've got to drive, Kristen and I have to drive 5+ hours on Saturday, and yeah, we're not driving a comfy car. We're driving a autocross-built Mazda 2. Filled with shit, yeah. So we might be a little bit tired Saturday night, but I'll probably hop on just to say hey. Thanks for hanging out, fools. Check out my Instagram. I took some pictures of today if you want to see what I was up to. CiottiFPV over on Instagram. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'll catch you guys on Saturday, and then of course Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Monday is another giveaway day. It's not going to be 3 builds like the last couple of Mondays because we're out of April now. It is going to be there might be no, there's not going to be. There aren't going to be any full builds on Monday, but I do have some really good giveaway stuff, a bunch of sets of motors and some really good stuff. So the giveaways are going to be really good this coming Monday, but it's not going to be full builds anymore. I can't afford to to do that every single other Monday. But yeah, there's going to be some really good giveaways this coming Monday. I think on the 5-inch tier and in the $10 a month micro brushless tier, I think on both of those there's going to be well, no, I think the 5-inch tier is actually going to be a Moon Goat frame, I believe, is what I was planning. And then I think the $10 a month micro brushless tier is going to be a set of the 2004 Newbie drone motors, so a full set of motors. So that's pretty good. CiottiFPV.com. Join my Patreon. Helps me out a ton. It's the only way I can keep doing this. Lots of really good giveaways, lots of good tech articles, audio versions of these streams, all kinds of good stuff going on. Thanks for hanging out, fellas. I'll see you guys either Saturday night or Sunday. But come on over to Instagram. You'll see me on Instagram. I might even do a quick Instagram stream tomorrow and or Friday to show you guys what I'm up to. Cool. Here's some outro music because this computer can't do anything else. I only have the one song. Be good. See you guys Saturday and or on Instagram. Clicking all the wrong things. Come on. Here we go. Goodbye.